Dr. Keneiloe Molopyane is an archaeologist and biological anthropologist who currently works as a scientific researcher at the Center for Exploration of the Deep Human Journey at the University of Witwatersrand in South Africa. Her excavation experience ranges from Iron Age early farming community sites, underwater archaeological sites and palaeo-anthropological sites from the Cradle of Humankind. Molopyane lectured at the University of Witwatersrand, the Archaeology division, before joining the team of underground astronauts excavating in the Rising Star cave system in South Africa in search of fossil remains that aid in our understanding of human evolution. She joins us now to talk to us about her journey and becoming the first South African black woman to be the principal investigator for Gladysvale cave at the Cradle of Humankind. Dr. Keneiloe, thank you so much for your time this evening here in SABC News.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here.
Let's start off here. I mean, one would even ask, why take up a career in archaeology?
Oh, well, it all started on a Saturday morning. I was 7 years old and I was watching cartoons with my mum, and we were watching The Adventures of Tintin. And, you know, the whole series had this great theme of exploration and adventure, which is what I was really, really interested in. And so I turned to my mom and I was like, that's what I want to do with my life. I want to explore and go on adventures. And mom was like, oh, you want to be an archaeologist? So for me, picking this career choice really started from when I was 7 years old. I just wanted to go out, explore new spaces that most people hadn't been in for a very long time, and to make new discoveries.
And you've become the first black South African woman to become or to be given the title of a principal investigator for Gladysvale. Maybe tell us more about what it took for you to achieve this accolade.
Oh, wow. I mean, it's an incredible accolade to have. And it comes on the back of many, many other achievements that I had. So I obtained my PhD in 2021 from Wits University. So I have a PhD in biological anthropology. So that means I just study skeletons. And in 2021, I became a National Geographic explorer. So that gave me a whole another network of supporting individuals that would support my work in Southern Africa, my research into human evolution and our journey to becoming humans. And then I was granted the permit to excavate at Gladysvale cave. And, you know, this was the first time in 20 years that Gladysvale had been researched again. And then here I am coming in as a young black female archaeologist to do this and to lead her own team. So that was incredible and quite a pivotal moment, because although you have lots of black archaeologists in the country and working in the country, not a lot of them are principal investigators and leading their own research teams and leading their own research sites. So to do that has been incredible, and I have students and I try to include them in everything that we do.
And let's stay with that. I mean, you've become the first a black woman to be a principal investigator, and maybe tell us about some of the challenges you encounter within your space. It's not a common space, right? It's one of those very unique careers that, South Africans take up. What are the challenges you have come across, particularly as a woman and particularly as a black South African woman?
Yeah, archaeology and paleoanthropology is not one of those careers where you'll see people like me. You'd often find, white men in these fields because it's just a field that's sort of catered for them, and it appeals to that sort of category of individuals. And this is not to say that there aren't any black people or women in the field. They definitely are. It's just that we tend to be in the background. So in a lot of the news that you look at, going back to like post 1994, every major archaeological discovery, you'll find that there's a white man behind it, right? Behind the news headline. But there are scores of other individuals in the background that just don't get the limelight. I've been fortunate enough in that I have a very supportive network and team members and mentors who have pushed me and have really put me in the limelight to showcase the diversity of the field. So I've been very fortunate in that, but a challenge that I have faced has been related to being a woman and also being a Black woman in this very white male dominated field. Is that when I say something or I make a decision on stuff, the rest of the team sort of like this was in the early days, they'd be very hesitant to take my direction and order, and then a male would say the same thing I did, and then the team moves. And it's just like, but I said the same thing. Like you need to like be in sync.
Yeah.
But that's sort of like being rectified. I now speak with more authority, and I'm not asking people to do things. And this is like a male characteristic, right? Which I've been taught now, which us as women, we're taught not to do that. And so I've been learning how to do that and being very successful at it, very much respected in my space now. And again, this is something that I'm trying to teach my female students as well.
And Dr. Keneiloe, you recently inspired a character in a comic book. Maybe tell us more about that, and also just how it feels to be given this recognition, particularly over something that you also were inspired by, like you said a bit earlier on in that cartoon, and now to have a character like yours live through a comic book.
Yes, this was a very fun project for me. So this is in relation to Super Scientists. And Super Scientists is a non-profit organization in which it reimagines real-life scientists as superheroes. And so they're drawn up as superhero characters. And so I was approached in 2021, 2022, to be drawn up as a superhero character. And I was delighted by this opportunity. And so we designed this character that looks very much like me. She's an archaeologist, and her name is Bones, because that's what she digs up. She digs up bones, and she tells you the story of a time long gone through the analysis of skeletal remains or pottery that's left behind in the archaeological record. And so to have this character, this Bones character in the Super Scientist universe, which is very much like the Marvel universe, is fantastic. Because as you said, my early inspiration to go into this field was through a cartoon series. And now I have this cartoon figure that's designed up. We have a comic book that we put together. And we're thinking about now doing a short animation film. So hopefully that's going to inspire a whole new generation.
All right. Dr. Keneiloe, thank you so much for your time. That's Dr. Keneiloe Molopyane. She's an archaeologist, and also they're talking to us about her journey as a woman in that specific space, and also highlighting some of the challenges that she has come across.